Hey guys, it's Blahzaye. We're back again with another video. Today we're talking about teachers and how they're trying to confront ICE. They've had school meetings now, and there's been some administrations that have passed down ways that you should be interacting with these government officials. We have some teachers that are trying to directly confront the government officials or the ICE agents to protect their kids. Understandable. I'm also going to be devil's advocate and say that's going to be hard to directly confront law enforcement just trying to do their job. They've been ordered to do something, and the teachers administration has already been like, hey guys, let's let these government officials do their job. We don't want to step in front of that. But some teachers are like, no, these are my kids. I built a relationship with them over time, and I'm going to protect them as I see fit. We're going to see how that goes and their attitude and then the legality behind it. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Trying to build the channel. Let's get started. So yeah, as we can see, so she got the full bar on the door. She's not letting anybody in. Funny thing, this would actually, not funny, but this would be good for like a school shooter type of situation. Or anybody that you're trying to, like somebody's trying to come into the room that you deem to be a threat. This is a perfect tool to be utilized in that situation. Coincidentally, that's what it is. This looks like kind of like a reinforced door as well. But this tool is definitely something that's extremely useful, especially even in your own home to like lock stuff up. Covers the handle and everything. But again, once we talk about this, throw this down in the comments below. What are your thoughts? If a government agency, you're in a public facility though, but you're trying to stop, public defenders from coming in and doing their job. We understand the morality of it, and like what you're trying to do is good, give good intentions, but is it like the right thing to be doing to be obstructing law enforcement? Put it down in the comments below. Let's move to the next one.
So we met today as a campus to talk about immigration and student support. So I'm going to share what I was given, and just please, before you come for my district or my school, my school really cares about our kids, and we do have to abide by the law in order to be a running school. So I'm going to share what was shared with me.
All right, let's take a pause. Kind of moving really fast.
What was shared with me.
All right, can federal officers enter our school? Yes, federal law enforcement may perform actions at or near a school. However, they must have valid documentation vetted by the ISD, Independent School District General Counsel. Since 2011, the Department of Homeland Security limited Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol agents from performing activities in sensitive areas. So yes, just like as the sheet says, governments, they were not allowed to come into these sensitive areas and then take people from these locations, but they rescinded it under the Trump rescinded those guidelines. January 21st, 2025. Now the Independent School District is assessing the impact of this policy change. You got to follow these laws now. And if you guys don't like these new laws, we have to vote the people out. That's the only way. But the sensitive areas was a thing. Schools, churches, and hospitals. Now those are no longer safe areas for illegal immigrants to be going to. And sometimes, hell, that's why people are scared, because you could just be a full U.S. citizen and still be threatened with this type of action. And what is the protocol if a law enforcement officer comes to my campus to request records? So they want you to contact the campus administration. Okay. So yeah, comes to my campus to request records, because they said already you had to go there to get that stuff vetted anyway. So I'm assuming per these regulations, they would have to already go through like the principal before they go to the classroom. So her locking that's why it was kind of weird, because the teacher locking the door, ICE wouldn't go, or ICE shouldn't go past the principal's office to the teacher's office or to the teacher's classroom before actually vetting that stuff. It should be get vetted at the principal's office, then get escorted to the teacher's classroom. And then with the principal standing right there, like, hey, we have this paperwork. Request documentation and identification and submit to the general counsel for review, and then get some more review stuff going down. Will families be notified if Department of Homeland Security officials come to a campus? So yes, the officials will be notified concerning a student, and they'll contact them. The law enforcement officer is at the school and the action they are seeking to take. Do not encourage the parent or guardian to take any specific action or provide advice. I see this trend popping around. Is that providing advice like to the other teachers that are kind of getting into? I don't want any teachers to get in trouble for being morally correct, trying to protect kids, right? If the authorized action involves the arrest of someone on campus, the administration should place the campus on a hold to protect the privacy of those involved. Campus leadership should reach out to the Department of Communications and Community Engagement for assistance. Here, this is a big one. What are the potential, here, let's go back. Consequences. You should follow the protocol. Yeah, you understand the staff may feel compelled to protect the students and their families, but you must be aware of the laws. Interfering with lawful activities of law enforcement officers could lead to a charge of obstruction of justice, will directly impact your job and your future careers.
Basically, we were told that there is nothing that we can do, that schools are no longer considered a safe space for our kids to be, and that we could be arrested for obstructing justice if we stop them from coming. So I can't really picture someone coming to my door to take one of my students away because they're kids. So I don't understand like why someone would come to a school and do that. They have not come. ICE has not come to our district yet, but we are preparing for the worst. I think it just puts me in a scenario where I don't believe that I would be able to open the door if they came to my room. And all we can do is try to provide resources for people. So it's hard for me to comprehend coming to take a child.
Yeah, it definitely is hard. Definitely the moral obligation is going to be pulling at her, but it's definitely going to be much harder to be a leader and instruct kids and then help lead futures for the kids that are in the class that aren't in the country illegally or didn't get brought over illegally when she's in jail for obstruction of justice, you know. So those are just those things. And we got to this next guy. Let's get it.
Chicago and try to gain access to it. Don't worry, teachers and staff did exactly what I said that they would do. And they say, fuck no, you gotta leave, and ICE had to. I just want to say, it's not lost on me that when teachers and students needed law enforcement officers to enter school to stop an active shooter, they were like, oh no, I can't do that, we're scared. But law enforcement, like ICE, has no qualms about entering an elementary school and ripping children away from their family. Okay. These like MAGA conservatives like coming into my comments, they're like, you think that ICE is scared of you teachers? They're not scared. I didn't say they were scared. Right? But they're gonna get frustrated with us because teachers, we're stubborn as shit. I'm gonna say it again, good teachers are not gonna give up their students to ICE. I'd rather spend my entire prep here trying to fix a paper jam in the printer than give up one of my students. I'd rather clean the microwave in the teacher's lounge than give up one of my students. I would rather volunteer for lunch and recess duty than to give up a single one of my students. Most teachers, especially the good ones, we're not just gonna roll over, okay? We're gonna go out kicking and screaming before we take these kids from our classrooms. I hope that we can all be just as brave as those teachers, those students, that staff, the admin at that Chicago elementary school.
As I said before, it's a very strong moral ground you have. Try to keep kids safe. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's see what she's saying. So she's saying, since ICE can go into schools now, I guess I'll end up using my teaching certifications. I'll be clocking in as Miss Miller for the foreseeable future. Hey, I see like a lot of these, I don't know, this is definitely a both sides argument. There's a lot of people trying to say they would fight for the kids. And there's a lot of people saying, hey guys, don't try to go up against law enforcement. It's not going to end well. It's definitely, this one's a tough one for a lot of people, especially if you've been with those kids for years and you're like, no, I'll give up my freedom to protect this kid. And the thing is, once again, as devil's advocate, like, are you going to protect them? Like, how long do you think that you can protect them for? Like, let's be rational here. I don't want to be like the bearer of bad news, but you can't like always 24/7 protect those kids, right? Their ICE is gonna find a way to come and get them. They're trying to and I don't know how the ICE agents are feeling either, right? We all don't know. Obviously, sometimes we can't all just say that they're bad people, like morally bad. These guys are just ordered to do something, and they're also trying not to lose their job, and they're following orders, which I do understand is an example of, oh, you're just following orders and you have no moral ground. You have no moral standing for yourself. Like, you only care about yourself. And that's why this argument's so big. Throw it down in the comments what you guys think. And I say, like, because they know there's so much fighting that happens with this. So a lot of these people, a lot of the teachers have their comments turned off too. So that's how you know it gets, because it's so indecisive. I guess you got the people that are about law enforcement going up against the people that care for the kids. And then there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, these are all just illegal kids. Their parents shouldn't have brought them anyways, because then that's the parents' fault that the kids are getting taken out from if they'd just stayed in their country. You're seeing that argument as well. That's why I just say throw it in the comments. Let me see what you guys are thinking. This is because ICE can now raid schools. It's the same thing, but it's just a trend with all the teachers. Take that how you will. But let's get to what the lawyer says about it.
While I love the courage and the energy of this teacher and so many other teachers on TikTok right now, I think there's something that we need to talk about. And that's the realities of interfering or obstructing ICE or any other law enforcement agency that comes into your school. Look, I hate this. I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting, but it's a situation that we're in. And as teachers, you have a responsibility to protect your students. And I love that so many of you are following through on that and literally willing to protect your students. But the reality is this: if ICE or another law enforcement comes into your school to do their job and you interfere with them either through obstructive means or physical means, there are serious consequences and repercussions that you can face in the legal system, including various types of obstruction on the federal level that can land you in federal prison. Also, most states, like the state of Texas, have their own various types of obstruction or assault on an officer, which could vary and range from being a misdemeanor to a felony in many circumstances. And while you want to protect your students, you have to protect yourself first, because one officer, are you going to be able to protect anyone, including yourself, if you do those things? I love the energy, but we have to talk about the correct way to do it. And the correct way to do it is to keep your doors closed. Instruct any officer or ICE agent that comes into your classroom that they need to go through administration. And you need to have a plan at your school. If there's not one in existence, you and the other teachers need to get together, approach your administration, and create a plan that's going to protect your students and protect yourself. The consequences of interfering or assaulting an officer are dire, they are serious, and it may not be in the best interest of you or your students for you to do those things.
Yep. Glad the lawyer brought in some very good knowledge. He appreciates that everybody, the teachers and the administrators and the healthcareers, want to protect the kids and, just keep everybody safe. But you guys everybody needs to just do everything the smartest way possible. Just make sure your movements are good and correct and strategic. Throw down in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.